the Battle of Tanga, the Battle of the Bees. In November 1914, a strange and chaotic battle took place in German East Africa, now Tanzania. Known as the Battle of Tanga, it became infamous not only for the intense fighting, but also for an unexpected adversary. Swarms of bees. Yeah, you heard it right. Swarm of bees. If life wasn't difficult for soldiers already in Africa in 1914. The gods of war had unique plans to teach a lesson about the complexity of war for British troops in the First World War. For the British forces, the battle was a disastrous attempt to capture the German-held port of Tanga. What was meant to be a straightforward military operation turned into chaos, with both sides facing the added fury of countless angry bees. The Battle of Tanga was part of the larger campaign in East Africa during World War I. The British aimed to secure the strategic port of Tanga, crucial for controlling the region and disrupting German colonial forces. German East Africa was a significant German colony, and its control was vital for the German war effort in Africa. Without it, Germany will lose a strategic logistic point, and eventually the rest of their troops in Africa would end up collapsing. The British Expeditionary Force, Indian Expeditionary Force B, was tasked with the invasion. Led by Major General Arthur Aitken, the force consisted of approximately 8,000 troops, including the 13th Rajputs, the 2nd Loyal North Lancashires, and the 61st King George's Own Pioneers. The objective was to quickly capture Tanga and establish a foothold in German East Africa.
Let's do it, lads. In and out, no fuss, no dramas. We will just go in, kick some Germans' butt, and let's get on with our mission in Africa.
On November 2nd, 1914, the British troops began their landing at Tanga. However, poor coordination and lack of proper reconnaissance led to delays and confusion. The Germans, under the command of Colonel Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck, were alerted to the British presence and quickly organized a defense with a much smaller force of around 1,000 troops, including German officers and African Askari soldiers. As the British troops advanced towards Tanga, they encountered dense mangrove swamps and thick jungle terrain. Progress was slow, and the soldiers struggled with the harsh environment and sweltering heat. The initial landing was met with little resistance, but the advance inland quickly became more challenging. On November 4th, 1914, the British launched their main assault. They faced fierce resistance from the German and African Schutztruppe forces, who utilized well-entrenched positions and effective guerrilla tactics. The fighting was intense, with heavy casualties on both sides. The British forces attempted to push through the German defenses, but their attacks were repelled with significant losses. The Germans had fortified their positions with machine guns and snipers, making it difficult for the British to advance. The German defense was so effective that at times the British soldiers faced machine gun fire from concealed positions that they could not locate. Amidst the chaos, an unexpected complication arose. Disturbed by the noise and movements of the battle, swarms of aggressive bees from nearby hives were provoked into attacking. The bees, agitated and numerous, swarmed over the combatants, stinging indiscriminately. Initially, the officers considered the bee attack was going to be a quick affair, but the amount of beehives in the area and nature of these bees created a serious danger for the soldiers.
I know what you are thinking. It's just bees, right? But these bees were bloody African bees. And trust me when I tell you, the bees became a bigger problem than the German army. I've never seen so many bees in my entire life. We were truly surrounded.
The presence of the bees added a new level of chaos to the battle. Soldiers on both sides found themselves under attack not only from enemy fire, but also from the relentless swarms. The bees stung men and animals alike, causing panic and confusion. The British forces, already struggling with coordination and communication, were further disoriented by the bee attacks. Troops fled in different directions, abandoning positions and equipment. The Germans too had to contend with the bees, but their entrenched positions provided some protection. One account describes soldiers in full panic, trying to swat away the bees, their movements hampered by their gear and weapons. Horses and pack animals, essential for transporting supplies and ammunition, bolted in terror, adding to the disorder. By November 5th, the situation for the British had become untenable. The combination of fierce German resistance, difficult terrain, and the relentless bee attacks led to a decision to retreat. The British forces withdrew in disarray, leaving behind supplies and equipment. The retreat was chaotic, with soldiers struggling to make their way back to the beaches under constant threat from both enemy fire and the bees. Many were stung multiple times, adding to their injuries and exhaustion. The British forces managed to re-embark on their ships, but the operation was deemed a complete failure. The Battle of Tanga had ended in disaster, with heavy casualties and a significant blow to British morale. Approximately 800 British soldiers were killed or wounded, while German casualties were relatively light, numbering around 70. The Battle of Tanga, often referred to as the Battle of the Bees, was a humiliating defeat for the British. Major General Aitken was heavily criticized for his poor planning and execution of the operation. The battle showcased the effectiveness of the German defenses and the resilience of their forces under von Lettow-Vorbeck's command. For the Germans, the victory at Tanga bolstered their position in East Africa and demonstrated their ability to repel a numerically superior force. Von Lettow-Vorbeck would go on to lead a successful guerrilla campaign against the Allies throughout the war, becoming a legendary figure in military history. The story of the bees added a unique and bizarre element to the battle's legacy. It highlighted the unpredictability of warfare and the unforeseen challenges that soldiers can face. The Battle of Tanga remains a fascinating and unusual chapter in the history of World War I. The Battle of Tanga stands out as one of the most unusual and disastrous engagements of World War I. The combination of fierce fighting, difficult terrain, and the unexpected intervention of swarming bees created a chaotic and memorable conflict. The legacy of the battle serves as a reminder of the complexity and unpredictability of war. It also underscores the importance of preparation, coordination, and adaptability in military operations. The Battle of Tanga, with its unique challenges and outcomes, continues to captivate historians and military enthusiasts alike. So, what do you think? Is this the most unusual story in the First World War? Comment below and let us know, and don't forget, lads, if you like this video, like and subscribe. Every like and subscriber helps us to continue our mini-documentaries series. Thanks again, and be strong.